Hi everybody, welcome to our TNT for Tuesday. It's also the last day of April. We've got a few examples of, one example in particular of some extremely poor English reporting here in Thailand. Also a very sad passing of a prominent publisher in the English language here, which we're very sad to report. But we're going to start off today with scams. And from the Bangkok Post, 6 members of 2 major scam gangs arrested, including 2 Chinese nationals, and 6 suspected members of 2 major call centre scam gangs have been arrested separately with cash and other assets valued around 42 million baht. Wow. One Chinese suspect managed digital wallets with about 70 billion baht in circulation. There was a Chen Yon Lai who was 52 and a Thai man identified only as Anand, also reported as Anant in another story. They were wanted on arrest warrants issued by the criminal court for colluding in public fraud, transnational crime, inputting false information into a computer and laundering money. And seized from them were 11 million baht in cash, 2 computers, 7 mobile phones, 8 bank accounts, 13 cash cards, 5 cars, other assets valued around 42 million baht. And police earlier arrested 5 alleged call centre scammers involved in creating a fake CIB Facebook page to swindle money from people last year. An extended investigation showed that there were 2 other suspects involved in the scam gang. And the investigation found the Chinese suspect was a key player in the scam network, and Mr. Chen had also used Thai nominees to buy houses, land plots, vehicles and other assets. He also held an elite visa. Now there is quite a bit more to this. Let's go to Cowsod English, and a Chinese man with a Thai name is part of a $1.9 billion scam ring, and police apprehended a wealthy Chinese man who lived a luxurious lifestyle under the guise of a Thai national and conspired with his wife to marry the Thai man for fraudulent business operations. Some video there of the police obviously in the man's apartment opening up his safe, and aha, what do we have here? These scammers threatened victims with legal action, duped them into investing in digital money stocks, and pretended to be either electric utility officials or Comptroller General Department officials, all in an attempt to trick the victim into downloading an application that allowed them to steal money from their accounts. They even purported to be bank officials, deceiving victims into transferring funds to another account. And it was found that he also had his wife register for marriage with the Thai man, who is the father of Mr. Chen's 3 children, so that his children could receive Thai nationality as well. Seems that he was getting ready for the next generation of scammers, but obviously these scammers getting increasingly sophisticated, more difficult to detect. One step ahead of the police and the authorities, and sort of almost becoming an endemic here in parts of Asia. Let's go to this story. The Bangkok Post reporting nation hit by a surge in scams and financial fraud. Thailand was one of the top 3 countries in the Asia-Pacific region to suffer a significant surge in financial fraud scams last year. And this is according to Google's 2023 Bad Apps Report. And a representative from Google Play said in 2023 we saw a significant rise in scams and financial fraud. Notably, Singapore, Thailand and India saw a significant surge in financial fraud scams. And the Asia-Pacific region is a hotbed for scams, as it has one of the highest smartphone penetration rates in the world at over 90%. And moreover, the scammers take advantage of respect for authority figures. For example, the scammers pretend to be from a government agency or a bank. It says that in addition, many areas of the Asia-Pacific face a stark digital literacy gap, making it difficult to effectively navigate online threats. And this can be true among older mobile phone users. And then it says that a recent Google survey revealed that the age group between 25 and 34 in Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam is most vulnerable to scams. And phishing apps in Thailand impersonating legitimate banks have been rampant, leading to losses of over 1 billion baht in 2023, according to the Bank of Thailand. So you do need to be additionally vigilant when you are online these days. They pop out of nowhere, these scams. It could be a funny phone number coming up on your phone. It could be a strange email. Just be extra careful. And if you're a little bit concerned about the email, just don't open it. Or perhaps get a friend who's more computer literate than you to perhaps have a quick look at it before you do anything. But please do be careful. Now we go to this next story now. Checking in on the situation with Chiang Mai and its air quality. The Bangkok Post with a headline, "Air quality in Chiang Mai continues to deteriorate." Now it's the last day of April and you would have thought we're probably at the end of this air pollution season. But it looks like we could have a little way to go. And the story says the air quality in Chiang Mai has continued to deteriorate over the past several days due to wildfires spreading in the province, according to local authorities. The province has the most hotspots in the northern region and is ranked among the cities with the poorest air quality in the world. And the downtown area has been shrouded by heavy smog every day over the past month. And it says that Chiang Mai's regularly appeared in the list of the world's most polluted cities between April the 1st and the 29th this year. Now, I'd go further to say that it's appeared in that top 10 list for every day between April the 1st and the 29th, and regularly been number 1, 2 or 3. Let's go to the situation today. This is from iqair.com, and today Chiang Mai is listed at number 3. That could go up or down as the day progresses. I'll put a circle around there of northern Thailand, and again plenty of red. That dark purple is the one that you really need to worry about. That would be where the air is considered hazardous. So how much longer is Chiang Mai and northern Thailand generally going to have to put up with this air pollution this year? Of course, the story will just die down over the next 6 or 7 months. Then it'll all arc up again next January with the government saying, oh, it's time to do something about this and let's roll out some policies. And you wonder if anything is ever going to happen to improve the lives and the air quality up in northern Thailand. This is the TNT program on Tuesday, the 30th of April, the last day of the month, and some very sad news. We go to the Big Chili Facebook page and they say it's with heavy hearts that we inform you of the passing of Colin Hastings this afternoon. This is yesterday due to a tragic car accident. We're deeply saddened by this loss. Further details will be shared as soon as we receive them. Please keep Colin's family and loved ones in your thoughts during this difficult time. Also from David Barrett, who was a prominent publisher for some 20 or 30 years. Rest in peace, Colin Hastings, who's pictured there on the right. A larger-than-life character in Thailand's publishing, sports and social scene. You will be sadly missed by so many. And there were many other tributes to Colin by individuals who knew him and worked with him. We go to an obituary in Pattaya Mail. And Colin Hastings, publisher of Big Chili magazine, dies in a car crash near Pattaya. Colin there photoed appears quite a few years ago. And Colin Hastings, a Kingston-born journalist with a storied career spanning over 4 decades in Thailand, was a revered figure within the expatriate community. His contributions to journalism were extensive, having worked across various sections of the Bangkok Post and serving as the editor of Thailand Tatler for 7 years. Notably, Hastings played a pivotal role in the successful launch and development of the Big Chili magazine, which has since become a cornerstone of Bangkok's English-language media landscape since its inception in 1999. As tributes pour in from colleagues, friends and readers alike, the legacy of Colin Hastings will endure as a testament to his unwavering dedication to journalism and his profound impact on the community he served. Well, our paths never crossed. I never got to meet Colin Hastings, even though we were working in Bangkok in the same sort of field for many years. But despite that, he was obviously a key and important person in English language publishing in Thailand for such a long period. Now, for those that love Colin, are still grieving over the situation, you may not want to hear the next minute or so just skim forward, but a little bit more about the actual incident. And from Calsot English, their Facebook page, Mr Hastings, 74, of British nationality, was found unconscious in the driver's seat of a car that had smashed into the wall of a house in Bang Sarai in the Chonburi province. Rescue workers hurried to take him out and perform CPR, but they could not help. He died at the scene. And police officers are awaiting autopsy results. Apparently the deceased had underlying health issues. However, it's unclear if it was the cause of the accident or not. So, a day for those that knew Colin to grieve the passing of a great man and an important contributor in publishing in the English language here in Thailand. And we'd like to acknowledge our sponsor, 5-Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. A few things you can do if you'd like to make a booking on these bespoke charter tours off the island of Phuket. You can go down here into the description of this video. There's a link which will take you to a special discount for TNT viewers, or you can go to their website and read all the testimonials and have a look at the photos and descriptions of some of the astonishing and beautiful places that you'll be able to visit off the island of Phuket. Speaking of Phuket, this story just keeps on going, and just one of those things we put in the list of things that are proposed and that will probably never happen. I predict it will never happen, but it's popped up in the news again, and Nation Thailand reports Surya, that's the Transport Minister, says Phuket Tram to run by December 2031. And he expressed confidence yesterday that construction of the 41.7 kilometre tram line in Phuket would start in 2028 and begin operating in 2031. And it's going to take about 6 months to review and adapt the 41.7 kilometre first stage of the tram line from the Phuket International Airport to the Geelong intersection. And apparently the review is needed as some of the roads where the tram line would intersect are narrow roads with heavy traffic. And that's just one of the reasons I don't think this project is ever going to happen. It will just cause such incredible disruption when there is just one road to get north and south, and there are simply no alternatives at the moment. And he added the tram line would be mostly built along Highway 402, but there would be 5 areas where the road is so narrow that the trams would use tunnels. He said he would ensure that Phuket residents would be charged lower tram fares than tourists. Well, putting the two-tier pricing proposal aside for a moment, and that will elicit, I'm sure, a certain amount of commentary. But it hasn't happened yet, so let's not worry about that. Remembering this is the main north-south arterial on an already very, very busy and often very slow-going road, Tepkasatri Road. There's no real alternatives to this road at the moment, and by proposing to disrupt that main road with a whole lot of construction for a rail that's going to take up a couple of lanes is just not tenable. Now, couple that with the fact that the route that's suggesting goes nowhere near any of the main tourist areas, which is pretty much the west coast of Phuket. So what is this going to do? Who is it serving? What is the use of spending all this money on a light rail? So we'll watch with interest to see if it goes ahead. But it was, I don't know, first proposed about 7 or 8 years ago, and it keeps on popping its head up, but nothing seems to happen, along with projects like the Patong Tunnel. Let's go to another story, probably a bit concerning. Nation Thailand reporting that doctor raises alarm over rising COVID-19 emissions and deaths. A lecturer at the Chulalongkorn University Faculty of Medicine is warning Thais to be more vigilant against COVID-19, saying infection rates appear to be worsening with higher hospital admissions, deaths and severe cases. And apparently from the 21st to the 27th of April there was 1,672 patients. 9 died. He said 390 of the patients suffered from severe lung infections. 148 others had to be put on ventilators. The doctor noted that the rate of hospital admissions rose 66.5% from the previous week. He said that admission rates had been rising for 7 consecutive weeks. It seems to be a very high rate of new admissions, and I'm thinking it's probably a lot to do with the fact that people were moving around a lot and getting together with groups during the Songkran festival. And these figures prompted him to estimate there were between nearly 12,000 to 16,500 new COVID infections daily during the past week, but he didn't elaborate on how he arrived at that estimate. And he noted that 55 of 148 patients who were put on ventilators were under 59 years old, and so he surmised that younger people should also be on guard against COVID infection. Now we go to this story. So I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to cover on this, but a slightly deceptive headline, I would have thought. Royal decree, new Thai Prime Minister appointed, cabinet reshuffle announced. Well, yeah, there was a new cabinet appointed on Sunday. We reported it yesterday. I'm not quite sure about the new Thai Prime Minister appointed. And on April 28, 2024, the Royal Thai Government Gazette website published a royal command relieving ministers from their positions and appointing new ones. And it talks about back in 2023 on August the 22nd, when there was a decree to appoint Srettha Thavisin as the Thai Prime Minister. And then furthermore, ministers were appointed to the administration of the country according to the announcement dated September the 1st, 2023. And then the article sort of went on to describe the ministerial changes that have taken place, but not exactly sure what they were trying to get across with that stories, the early parts of the story and that headline. But from a little bit of confusion from the Pattaya News to this piece of, reporting. And I have blanked out the name of the publisher, but it reported Thai American teen becomes the latest addition to the Pattaya Flying Club. I would have thought tasteless and reckless at the very least. And it went on saying a Thai American teen joined the insensitively named, that was added later, Pattaya Flying Club yesterday by leaping from the 8th floor of a condominium complex in Pattaya. The incident occurred early yesterday morning around 3:36 a.m. Of course, it was also reported on this publisher's Facebook page. People weren't particularly happy. One person saying, shocking headline, no respect to the poor boy's family. This is such a disgusting and disrespectful headline. The publisher needs to apologise for this heading and show some respect. We'll be waiting for their reply. Hugh Thompson said, very tactless headline, you should be ashamed. The publisher, disrespectful writer and whoever approved it. And then Joy, of course, saying that suicide isn't funny or to be profited from. So this post continues to collect these fairly condemning comments, and the original story still there sitting on the website. So rather than apologising and amending the headline and the story, they're just sticking to their guns and digging that hole that is looking for profit and sensationalism over any sense of good journalism. And we go to the PattayaNews.com, a great story. A 79-year-old Thai man defies age, continues selling traditional Isan musical instruments on Jomtien Beach. And despite being 79, an age when many live their retirement, Uncle Wichai, a familiar figure along Pattaya's Jomtien Beach, continues to bring joy to others by selling music and traditional Isan instruments. And he's been spending 40 years selling traditional Isan music and instruments. And every day Uncle Wichai sets out with his instruments, making his way along the long stretch of Jomtien Beach. His sweet tunes, played on the can, never fail to attract the attention of passers-by. The beautiful melodies also draw curious visitors, both Thai and foreign, to admire both the music and the craftsmanship of his creations. As the sun begins to set, Uncle Wichai heads to South Pattaya to continue his musical journey until late in the evening. And for Uncle Wichai, selling these instruments is more than just a means of livelihood. It's a way of sharing his passion with the world. Despite his advanced age, Uncle Wichai's story serves as an inspiration, justifying that age is but a number. So if you do happen upon Uncle Wichai when you're next in Pattaya along Jomtien Beach, please say hello, enjoy his music, have a look at the instruments, and perhaps buy something and support a man who, well, deserves our support for such a long commitment to Thai culture and, bringing some joy to people along Jomtien Beach. And with that, I thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.